Apache HTTPD web service. Now what is this Apache? First, this Apache HTTPD is one of the most used web servers on the internet. A web server is a daemon that speaks the HTTPS protocol. That means for web servers we use the protocol HTTP or HTTPS. And this Apache, this web server is the daemon. This Apache is a daemon that speaks to the HTTPS or HTTP protocol, a text-based protocol for sending and receiving objects over a network connection. So it is a text-based protocol. It is actually called Hypertext Transfer Protocol, HTTP. So it is a text-based protocol to send and receive the objects over the network connection. So the HTTP protocol is sent over the wire in clear text and using the port number 80 of TCP by default. So if you use the HTTP, so it uses clear text format to send and receive, and it uses the port number 80 of TCP by default. Though other ports can be used, that means we can use other ports for the service. And there is also a TLS and SSL encrypted version of the protocol called HTTPS that uses the port number 443 of TCP by default. And still we can use the other ports, but for configuring SSL or TLS it is needed the encrypted certificate. So if you have a certificates from the certification authority, then we can use those certificates to configure this HTTP with SSL, and it will be secure. The connection will be secure. So whatever the data goes and comes, send and receive, it will be encrypted by the certificates. So even you can use the self-signed certificate also. Then Apache HTTPD, sometimes just called Apache or HTTPD. So sometimes it just called Apache or sometimes it just called HTTPD. Like here in Linux RHEL7, it is called HTTPD mostly, and if you go like in Ubuntu, so it is called Apache. Now implements a fully configurable and extendable web server with full HTTP support, and the functionality of HTTPD can be extended with modules. Modules are small pieces of code that plugs into the main web server's framework and extend its functionality. So it is also called modular server, which have different type of modules. Modules are like a small piece of codings. So we can add small piece of coding to add extra functionality to the web server. Now on the RHEL7, Apache HTTPD is provided the HTTPD package in the HTTPD package. So if we want to configure the HTTPD, this Apache server, so what we need is the package HTTPD. The package name is HTTPD. And the web server package group will install not only the HTTPD package itself, but also the HTTPD manual package. That means if you select the web server group of packages, if you remember when you install the system, it asks you to use the software, use the server requirement, like why and how you want to use this server. You want to use it for the web server, file server, infrastructure, or you want to use it for minimal, or you want to use for the GUI. So in that case, if you select web server, so it will install all these required packages. And even if you select server with GUI, so on the right side you will see different group of packages. So within those group of packages, if you select web server packages, then it will install HTTPD, and not only HTTPD, it will install the HTTPD manual package also. And once this manual package is installed and the HTTP service is running, this is the service for the httpd.service. So if you run the server, your server is running, the service is running, then you can see this manual. You can see the manual page on this URL, http://localhost manual, and this manual has the complete reference of all the configurations directories for HTTPD along with examples, and this makes it very an invaluable resource while configuring the HTTPD. So it is a manual and is a help for us. Now for configuring this, for configuring Apache HTTPD in our Linux. So let's see how we can configure it first. We can configure this server, Apache server. We can configure this Apache with the default site. We can configure with the default, we can configure with the single, we can say single. Default site. And also we can configure this. We can configure the Apache server with multiple virtual host, virtual sites, or we can say virtual host. So we can do this, we can configure it with a single default site, or we can use the server to configure multiple sites, and those sites we can say virtual hosting. Now first, what we need to configure it. So first we need the required packages. So the required packages are, we know the required packages are only HTTPD. So the package which we require is HTTPD package. This is the package we required first to configure this. This is to configure for, this is a main package. To configure Apache web server. So this is the main package we need. Other packages are like HTTPD Devil, HTTPD Manual. These are the different packages. If you like, then you can install it for the different uses. Like for manual, when you install HTTPD Manual, you will get the manual pages. If you install HTTPD Devil, then you will get some development things where you can develop the sites also. So these packages are required. So all in all, I can say that HTTPD star, like which packages starts with the HTTPD, is required for the HTTPD server, Apache web server, to configure the Apache web server. So first what we do, we should install the package which we need. So to install the package, we can use either Yum server, or if you are not having a Yum server, then we can use RPM also. So if we are having RPM, then we can use RPM-IVH and the path where we have located the packages, and then we will mention the package's name. Whatever the name of the packages you want to install, you will mention one by one. And if we are already configured the web server, Yum server, then we can use Yum install, and then we can use HTTPD star. So it will install all the required packages with start with the HTTPD keyword. So let's install these, or let's check these packages are available or not, and if it is not there, then we can install it. So first I will check Yum list. I have Yum server configured, HTTPD star, which packages are installed and which packages are not installed. So I have available. I have installed packages HTTPD, HTTPD tools. This tools package gives us the required tools for the HTTPD. So this package is installed, and the available packages are devel and manual. So if you need the manual, then you should install the manual package. If you need to develop the sites, then you can use the devel package. So what I will do, I will install these two packages also, which is not installed, and for that I will run command install. So these two packages are going to be installed, and there is dependencies also. Now these dependencies are related to the devel package. If you are installing manual, so manual is not having any dependency. So I will install this. Now the packages are installed. So before going ahead, we should see what are the important files of the HTTPD server we have, Apache server we have. So if we check rpm-ql with HTTPD package, so we see these files. Now what are these files? So let's begin with the first line. Okay, so first under the etc directory we have all the configuration files. Now configuration files are starting from here. Under etc we have HTTPD directory, and in that directory we have different files. Now we have a directory called conf, and we have directory called conf-d. Again, this conf-d directory is the add-on drop-on directory. Like whenever you want to add additional configurations, then you can add them into this directory instead of changing directly the main configuration file. So that whenever the software, whenever this update, this package updates, then it will not change your settings. Because whenever the system, this software updates, they sometimes do what? They change the configuration, main configuration files to the default. So in that case, it should not be changed. Our settings should not be changed. So we can put those manual settings what we configure into this add-on directory. So we can put any file, all the configuration files which we want in this directory. Name could be any, but only the requirement is that the extension must be .conf. So it will load all the files under this directory with extension of .conf. So it says actually anything, name anything, that means a star .conf. So it is going to load all the files from there. Now we have some files under this directory also. We have the readme file to see how is these drop on we can make, and there is some autoindex.conf, there is user dir conf, and there is welcome conf is also there. Now these are having some default configurations for our Apache server. Then we have another directory conf.module.d. Now in this we have a configuration file again like this conf.d, but these configuration files are related to the modules. These configuration files are related to modules. Now basically previous version of this Apache has all the options for the modules under the same main configuration file, and this is the main configuration file. So actually it has, this file was very big file. It was having more than 500 lines, and in those lines you have all the information about modules, like which modules is to be loaded and which modules it is not to be loaded. Now here they have divided it because they, for the security reason, we should not load those modules which is not required. Otherwise what happened? It could be a problem of security. That means if you are loading some modules for some configurations without your knowing, then hackers can use those features. So it is like you're adding some feature which you don't know. You're just starting the service and those features are adding. Those features are added, and you don't know about that features, and it is working in the background. You are not using it, but some hackers do this. They do scan your system. They try to check what is running and what is not running, and if they see something is running, so they try to use it on default. They try to access it on default settings, and if you don't know the thing, then maybe it is already on default and they can exploit it. So they divided it now. Now in the main configuration file, we don't have any configuration related to the modules, that which module is to be loaded. All the loading modules settings are under this directory. The file names are any, but again the extension is .conf. So there are some default files are there which is saying to load some of the modules. Like this file is saying that load the base modules, device modules, LAUMP, proxy system D, CGI modules. So it actually says that these modules should be loaded. Then you see this is the main configuration file. This is the main configuration file. So whatever you want to do, you can do it here in this configuration, in main configuration file. Then we have some other files also, like this one is for the extensions, what type of files it supports. Again, we have under the HTTPD, we have these three files: logs, modules, and run. Now basically these files are link. These are link files. These are not real files. These are not real files, these are basically links. So basically these are links of log files, like where is your log files, and this is the link for the modules, and this is the link for the run directory. Now actually the directories are here. If you see the main module directory is here, and in this directory we have all these modules. There are some library files, and here there is the service. We have a service called HTTPD. So this is the service file, and basically the module directory is here, and in this directory you have all these modules. So we have these all modules which adds the extra features to our web server, our Apache server. And the logs directory is also here. So this is the log directory, and it has all the logs. So those are only links. These are only links. Let me show you in detail. I will open one more terminal. So I will show you in detail. So first, as I said, in this directory, let's go to the cd etc httpd directory, and when you check this, you can see these three files are not a real file, they are link. So if you check the link, so basically it says logs, but actually it is here, where log httpd, and modules, but it is not here, it is actually this directory. So all the modules are laid into this directory. Then the run directory for the running PIDs is under run httpd. So these are the real directories. So main configuration file is under this directory. This is our drop on directory, and in this directory we have the configuration file related to the modules. So which module is to be loaded and which modules is not to be loaded. Like if you see this file, let's say conf.module.d, I will check base file. So it says that these basic modules has to be loaded. You can see these modules will load when our server starts. So these modules will be loaded, and these modules are still there, but they will not be loaded because they are commented. So if you like, then you can enable these, and if you want to disable any of these modules also, then you can disable these modules. These modules gives us different functionalities. Then after these configuration files, then you have a file for the log rotation. That means how it is going to be rotate the log, how much time it will take and whatever. And then sysconfig files are there. Then you have this run directory where you will see you will have the running PIDs. Then you have this is the main service. This is our main service file, and this is the file for the temporary. This is the file for the temporary files, like how to manage the temporary files in the temp directory, how long it should be there, and how to delete and when to delete those files. All the configurations are in this file. Then these are the library files. Under HTTPD you have the modules directory, and in that you have all these modules. We see these modules of different configurations. If you see these modules, they are having different configurations. Buffer, cache, they have related to data, they are related to different things. Headers, heartbeat, info. So these are different. These are related to proxy, how to proxy and all that. So these are the modules. These are lib executed files. Then you have some commands here: Apache control, HTTPD cache cleaning, HTTPD command, and rotate log commands. So you have some commands also here. Then you have the documentations. Documentations are like the readme and sample files. Like this is the sample file for your configuration. You have a sample file for your manual, your sample file for the virtual host proxy. So all of these things are here under the document directory. Then under the document directory, under the share directory, you have one more directory called error, and in this directory you have different errors. You have different error pages. Error pages are like when we access the server and we get error something, suppose we get forbidden, so these pages will be shown. So these are the default error this server gives. So whenever you are forbidden to access something, when you are not reaching something, bad gateway, bad request, gone, internal server error, method not allowed, not found error, not implemented error. So these are the HTML files which shows that errors. So whenever you get these errors, you will see these files. So these are the default files for the error. If you like, then you can change the file and you can add your customized error also. So you have these errors also. Then you have these icons also. In those errors, these icons will show like GIF, PNG, GPG. So these are the icons which shows in those error pages. So we can also use these errors icons in our web pages also, if we like. Then these are all icons, and then we have these man pages for those commands which we have. So if we want to get the detailed information about those commands, we can get it from here. This is the caching directory. This is for the caching of the proxy. This is the libdev directory. This is the log directory. Now this is important directory. This is our main database website database directory. So our website database directory, that means whatever site we have, either we are having a single default site or we are having a multiple sites. So all the data for those sites we can create under this directory. We can create under this directory all the data. Like we are having multiple sites, so we can create all the sites data into this directory, where we have another directory for the CGI bin, and we have this directory where www.html. Now this directory is our default website database directory. It is the, we can say, we say this directory as a default document root directory. Document root directory, that means the default website's data, whatever the site data we have, we put those data into this directory. Like whatever the pages we have front page, home page, and the other pages, and all the files which used in those pages like images, icons, videos, everything we can put it into this directory all together. Right now we don't have anything on that directory, so if you check what is under var www and html, so you will see, you should see nothing. These files I have created, these files should not be there. I think this one I have created there, but by default it is not having any file. So let me delete these ones. I think I have created these files there. So by default it does not contain any files there. So default it is empty. It does not have any file in that directory. Those files I was created there. So there is no file in that directory by default. So basically it is an empty directory where we can put our default sites database. So all the document root, all the documents for the website, we can put it into this directory. So this is our default database. These are the important files we have. We have installed the packages which we need, and also we have seen these important files what we have. So these are the important files we have. Now after installing the package, we want to configure the web server. So what we can do here, first I will start the server. I will start the server with the default setting. So what I will do here, after installing the packages, I can start the Apache server by starting the service, by starting the httpd service. So we can start this server by starting this service, and when we start it, it will start with the default settings, and it will start with the default settings. Now what is this default settings? Let's start the server first. So for starting it, to start the service, we will run command systemctl to start httpd dot service. And also what we will do, we will make sure that service will run after reboot also. So systemctl enable service, and we will make sure that there is no error. So for that we will check the status. Now when I start the service, it will start the server and it will start with the default settings. Now what is the default settings we have? Let's see. First start the service and then let's see what is the default thing. So for starting the service, systemctl start httpd dot service, and it is started. And I will make sure it will run every time. So enable http.service. Now I will check the setting status by now it is started, it is running, and it is enabled also. So it is already running now, it is starting here and it is started here. It is showing some warning. It is not error, it is the warning that authorization of the key of the KDC is not established. Now there is one more error and warning. It is saying here that could not reliably determine. Now you are not able to see the full message here because it is cutting that. So we can use this L option here. So with the status, I should use this L to see the whole thing. So now we can see the whole message here. So it was having a warning that authorization error, insufficient access, SASL, no mechanism available, unknown authentication method. IPA disable KDC proxy, it is not available. Now it is also saying here that could not reliably determine the server's fully qualified domain name using server.example.com and set the server name directives globally to surpass this message. So it is basically saying that it is not able to find the server name, that who is the Apache server. So our server don't know that who is the Apache server. When we started this service here in this machine, it tried to check that who is the server, who is the Apache server, and it knows by this directory. In the configuration file, in the main configuration file, there is an option called server name, and with this option it has a name of the Apache server, but that option is not available right now. By default it is not configured. So it is not configured, so it is not able to find the main server name. And what it is doing here, it is using this server name. This server is the current server name where we started the service. So it is assuming that this is the server this is the server itself is the Apache server. So it is using this server name automatically by itself, and is saying that if you don't want to see this error every time, then you have to configure in the main configuration file, you have to configure this server name. So first, if you want to start the server in the default settings, so this is the first default setting, that it does not know the server name. So if you want to start the server first, then you have to configure this server name in the configuration file. Then you can start the server easily. So we will fix this, and others are related to some security thing, SSL thing, but we have not configured SSL anything here. Now what else? The service is started. Now let's say if any client try to access this web server, then what happens? So I will go to the client machine and try to access this server. Now I will open the browser here. And I will try to access the server. So for accessing it, I will use HTTP. I'm not using HTTPS, we have not configured. And then I will use the server. We can use name or IP both. If we are having a DNS server configured, so we can use the name, and if you are not having a DNS server, then you can use the IP address also. I'm using IP address that 192.168.1.12, and when I press enter, it says unable to connect. Now why it is saying unable to connect? Now this is because of firewall. So always remember, when you are having a firewall and the firewall is running, so it is not allowing other services. By default only SSH is allowed. So whatever the services you want to configure, you have to allow them on firewall also. So you have to make sure the firewall is allowing the HTTP traffic to be accepted. One more thing, SLINUX. If you are having SLINUX also running, then you have to make sure the SLINUX labels are properly configured on the files which you are sharing with HTTP. Let's enable the firewall first. So we have started the service and firewall is running. So I'll go to firewall CMD, permanent, add service, HTTP service. We have two services here, HTTP and HTTPS. HTTP means port number 80 and HTTPS means port number 443. Now these are the default one, and we can create others also. And if we create other ports, if we use other port for the site, that means what, we have to make sure the port is also enabled in this firewall. So I am enabling HTTP and I will also enable HTTPS, so that whether we use normal HTTP or HTTPS, it is both will be open. And now reload. We can also check what we have enabled. So we have enabled HTTP and HTTPS both. Okay. Now I'm going back to this client and I will try again. And now I can access the server. And now I'm seeing what? I'm seeing this default page here. Now what this page is saying here, and where this page is coming from, and what it is saying here. So basically it is what, the test page. This is the test page and used to test the proper operation of the Apache HTTP server. So after it has been installed. Now if you can read this page, it means that the Apache server installed at this site is working properly. So basically this is the test page to check that server is working properly or not. So when you see this page, that means it is working properly. So now what it says, that if you are member of the general public, then do this and that, and if you are the web site administrator, so now we are website administrators. For visitors, it says wait, the site is going on, it is still in under construction. Now here we are administrators. So what it is saying here for the administrators, that you may now add content to the directory, and this is the directory, and you can see the directory name is what, var www.html. So in this directory, this is the default directory for the default site, default document root directory for the default site. And because we have not created any other site, so this is basically the default site. And for the default site, all the pages must be in this directory. So it is saying now that because you are seeing this page, that means your server is responding, your server is working. Now you can add your pages into this directory. Now note that until you do so, people visiting your website will see this page and not your content. To prevent this page from ever being used, follow the instruction in this file. So this page is actually coming from this configuration file. So under the drop-on directory, if you see, under the drop-on directory, there is a file called welcome.conf. And under this file, there is a configuration which says that this file will be loaded if there is no file in this default directory. So now what? Our site is working and we have to add our content into this default document root directory. So this page is coming because of this main configuration file. Now let us confirm that it is our this is really our server page, and this is how this configuration file is generating, giving this file. So basically in this directory there is no file there. So when you go to our server, so now what we can do, we can add our web pages into our main document root directory, which is var www and html. Right now there is nothing here. Now what it is looking for here, what our Apache or web server is looking in this directory. So it is looking for the web content. Now web content, now if you are the website developer, then what you know, how it is configured. What you know is, like, first when you access any website, so what you see is the home page. The first page, when you access any website, you will see the first page, and that is called home page. Now after that home page, you will go through the site, like you open the site, then you go through the site, like you click on some links, you click on some images, so other pages opens, other links opens and all that. Now those other pages, other links, images, videos, whatever, they all have link on that first home page. So basically our web server accesses that home page. So our web server's job is to just access that home page and present it to the client. So whenever any client accesses it, so it got first the home page. The home page it will get, and in that home page it will get the links. So suppose this is the link. So when you click on this link, it will take you to the other site or other pages. If you click on this link, it will open other pages. If you click on this link, it will open other pages or images or whatever. So it is going to open these other links, but the first page which you see is the home page. So our web server do what? It only access that web page. Our web server's job is to only access that home page. So what this Apache server is looking, it is looking the home page under this default document root directory, and it wants the home page name must be index.html. It must be index.html. So it is actually looking the file. It is looking the file name index.html in this document root directory, and if it is not finding that file, then it is showing this test page, and that configuration is under this welcome.conf file. So if you see that welcome.conf file, if you open that file under etc httpd conf.d directory, we have welcome.conf. Now this is the file responsible for that test page. So when you open this file, you see it is having the simple program here. It says it is the options, not indexes. Now it is saying if the error is 443, then do what? Do open this no index.html, and it is hidden no index.html. Now again in the next setting, it is saying how what are the access permissions. We'll see this one. Now here it is also saying this is the alias. So it is actually saying when you see the error of no document, that means no home page. So error number is 403. That means it will open this file, it will show this file. Now what is this file? So it is actually alias. So it is alias of this file. So basically it is opening this file. So this configuration is saying that open this file in case of no home page. So this is the file which is opening. Under USR share there is httpd and in that there is no index directory, and in that there is a file called index.html. So basically our server looks for this index.html file in the document root directory, and if it is not finding that, if it does not find that file, then what it do? It opens this file. So what is this file? If you open this file, so under USR share httpd no index, under the directory no index you have index.html. So if I open, so this is the HTML coding we are seeing here. This is the page and this is the coding for that page. Now if you want to make sure, then I will show you this. This setting is this option is setting the background color. So what I will do here, I will change the background color to verify, to just verify. This is not we do, this is not we do, this is just to verify that this is the same page we are seeing. So I will change the color to green and then I will save this. Now when I reload the page here, you can see the background color is now green. Now why it is green? Because I have changed the page, I have changed the source page, and this is the source page. So this is the source page and that is why this color is changed. So what is happening here? First, our Apache server tries to look for the home page under this document root directory, and the home page name it is looking for the home page name index.html. And now if it is not there, then what it do? It checks this configuration file. By this configuration, it says that if there is no home page file, then open this file. It simply says that open this file. If there is no home page file there, then you should open this file. Now if it is there, if it is having any home page file there, then it will not open this, it will open something else. And if you want to have another home page, another test page, like you want to have your own test page, you want to use a custom test page, this is the default test page for the Apache, and if you like to have a custom page, then what you can do, you can make your own configuration, you can make your own HTML page and add it. So this is why, and this is how this welcome test page is coming. Now to avoid this page, what we need our website. So what we do here, we will get the website documents from the website developers. Website developers will do what? They will create the website, they will configure, they will create the coding, whatever they need, they create the website, everything, web pages, whatever web pages they need, icons, images, everything, and they will give you in a directory. Now we will do what? We will put all those all those files under this var www HTML directory. In that directory, we will put all those files, all those web pages, all those website data into this directory. And what we will do, we will show the home page file. Website developer will show us that this is our home page. That means if anyone access the server, so it should see this page first. So this is the home page. So home page file, we will make sure the name of the home page file will be index.html. So our server will check index.html file and it will publish this index.html file first. And on that file, we will have different links. So if there is a file there, then you will not see the test page and your site will start working. So this is what the default behavior, and this is what the default file coming. So by default our server do this. Now to avoid this, we have to configure our web server to work for our site. So first thing we have to do is to set the server name first. We have to set the server name, and then what we do, we will add our all document data into this, our website data into this home page file, document root directory, and then our default site will start working. That means we have configured our single website. So let's do this now. So first what I will do, to make sure we configure the single site server. So what I will do first, I will make sure it knows the server name. For that I will go to the configuration file first, etc httpd conf and httpd.conf. Now in this file we have different options. You can see this it's a big file, and we have this not that big. Actually it was big in old times. In the previous versions it was very big file, but right now it is not that big file. If you go to the end, it is only 353 lines, but previously it was having lots of lines in this. It was having more than 500 lines. Now what I will do here, first you can see these are the comments and these are the settings which is used. So this setting is saying that server root directory, this is the root directory for the configuration file. So any configuration files will come under this directory, httpd under etc. So it is setting the home directory for the configuration file. Now it is listening here in this setting, it is listing on port number 80. This is the default port for our HTTP. Now if you want to change the port, as I said, like you can have another ports also for the site. So if you like, then you can change the port also. From here you can change the port, and even you can change the IP for listening also. Now when you go down, so it is showing here that it is going to include all the files under these directories which start with any name, but it must have .conf at the end. That means it is going to load all the files which start with anything but end with .conf, and it is for modules. So it is for the module. It is a setting to load the all module configuration files. So whatever the module it wants to load, it will load it from here. Now when we go down, then we see this is the server user, and this is the group. So it is mentioning the username and group name here, so that you will not miss this, that whenever you share any file, like when you get the home pages, when you get the website pages from the website developer, so when you add those pages into the document root directory, then you have to make sure that this user or group may have read permission, at least read permission on those files. Otherwise what happened, those users, the Apache server will not able to access those files, and if it is not able to access those files, then you will not see the pages and your server will not work. So it is showing this username and group name, so that whenever you share or publish any document from this web server, then you have to make sure this Apache user and group must have at least read permission. Now here you have the setting for server admin. Server admin, here you will put the email address of the server admin. So any error or any problem will be mailed to this account, this email address. Now it is root at localhost, that means this local machine. So it is going to be sent to the root user of this local machine. If you have any other account, then you can give the email address, any other email address of the server admins. My admin is root, and it is also on the local system, so this will work. Now the next thing is this, which I want to add, that is server name. Now here if you see, it is commented, and that is why it is not able to detect the server name. So what I will do here, I will configure the server name here, and this is what I am configuring. So I will enable the line by removing the comment, and I will make sure I will have a proper server name here. So my server name is server.example.com. So I added the name here, and other settings are in default, so I am not changing that settings. These settings are okay. So I just change the server name here on the line number 95, and then I will save this file. So this is what I have done to make sure the server knows the server name. Now when I reboot the service, when I restart the service, then it will not show that error. Restart. httpd.service, and now when I check the error, it will not show me that error of server name, and you can see there is no error for server name. There is only 2 warnings related to IPA authentication. Now we have to add our document data. We have to add our our website data into that document root directory. Now I am not a website developer, so what I will do, I'm a system administrator, so it is not my job to develop the website. So I will get the web pages from the website developer and I will add it into that. Now what I will do here, I will create a home page, because for testing what I will do, I will create the home page for myself, because I just want to test. So the home page name must be index.html. So I'm creating this file here, and this file is the new file I'm creating, and this file will be the home page. Now if I know the coding, if I know the HTML, CSS and whatever, so I will create the code, I will create the full-fledged home page. But if I don't know, then I can do what, for testing I can just add the text, like this is my default website. So I just added this line to test. It is just only for testing this, that our site is working or not. So and I will save this. So when we access this server, we will see this as a home page, and we will see that text line. So I will go to the server client now. Now this is the test page. Now when I refresh, now you can see our home page. So this is our home page, and in that home page we can develop the home page, we can add different links, images, GIFs, PNGs, whatever we want. We create the full-fledged, our website developer will create it, and then this is the home page. So when the home page comes, then from the home page they can access anything. So this is how this works, and this is what we have configured. We have configured what the single site. This is the one site server. Like this server has a one site which is the default site. So whatever this site is running as a default, and the all document data for the site will be in this directory. And the home page for the directory for the site will be this. Other pages, other images, links, everything will be under this directory. So we will put all those files under the same directory, and we mention the home page. So this is our Apache HTTPD server, and this is what we have configured here is the single site web server, where there is only one site running as a default. So if you have only one site to run, then it is okay. That is the configuration, that is only the thing you need. But if you want to configure multiple sites, then you will create virtual hosting, and that we will see next time.